Welcome to Military Matters. This is Ricky Harold, and this show is also with Lieutenant Colonel George Fleck. Remember, this is a show about veterans, for veterans, and everything regarding veterans and issues that impact the lives of our veterans. And our goal is always to be insightful, factual, and thought-provoking. So today we have two great guests. We've got a husband and wife team today because we've got Tony Martinez and his lovely wife, Diane. And he's going to talk about veterans, Nevada Veterans Organization and his organization and what they do for our Purple Heart veterans and the community, because he is one of our veteran organizations in greater Northern Nevada that does nothing but help our veterans and their families. So, Tony, you want to explain your program and what you do and what's coming up?
Yes, sir. I'd love to. Thank you for the invite today, sir. I really appreciate it because it's, oh, yeah.
There's always a cheerful crowd.
No, I honestly, again, I want to thank you for the invite. It's very important for us to get this information out to the public. My wife and I started this Nevadans for Vets 9 years ago, and our main goal was to support the Northern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Fernley, and we got to the point we could give them 25% of their needs for the cemetery to make sure that the wreaths on Wreaths Across America Day, the third Saturday of December. It's when we lay the wreaths, and we want to make sure
Wreaths Across America, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we support that as well. Not just our organization, but the Knights of Columbus does the same thing.
Right. And so we're very successful. And again, I'll step back and say, an idea is only as good as community would like to accept it. And I think you know as well as I do that this community is so supportive of vets, like just overwhelming supportive, and we've been very successful.
Absolutely.
And because of their support, we also support the Sparks Marina Memorial Plaza. We give them wreaths to cover all their statues over there. And then right now, we're working with Lone Mountain Cemetery in Carson City to make sure all the vets in Carson City are covered.
Well, that's great.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And those are our goals that we want to take care of and provide, that make sure that the interned at every two cemeteries are covered, and that's our goal for that. We also have approximately 9 other programs that we not subsidize, but we help out, and it's not a lot of money. We give 25% of. We have a fundraiser. We have a fundraiser in this last June, and we'll give them 25% of their needs for the Wreaths Across America program, which is the third Saturday in December. And because we've been successful and the community's been so responsive that we've also taken care of the Sparks Marina Plaza. And our latest project is to take care of Lone Mountain Cemetery in Carson City. We want to make sure that all the veterans that are interned will have a wreath on their grave. So that's our main goal. And because the community's been so receptive to the ideas of helping our vets, that we were able to add probably another 7 programs to it, starting with the Woodchucks of Nevada. Woodchucks of Nevada is a program that goes to the VA and walks in there and says, "Hey, does anyone want to learn wood carving?" Wood carving, and they say, "Yeah." So they take 5 to 6 and take them back to their shop, and they go one-on-one and teach them how to do whatever they want to learn how to do. And what we do, we say, and it's run by Mary Sedgwick, and that's she was a professor at the University of Nevada, and she's a very, very intelligent lady. And so we go over to her and say, "Okay, Mary, what we'd like to do, we'd like to take you down to who your supplier is for wood, and we'll go over there and we give her, carte blanche to get the wood she needs for her next project, next 2 projects, or 3 projects, depending." And like I say, honestly, it's not a ton of money, but it's something that helps her program come along. We also,
right.
We also have what we call our own wheelchair program. Somebody calls us up and says, I have a wheelchair, and we've traveled as far as Bakersfield, California, past Robles, California, and picked up some wheelchairs, brought them back, had them reconditioned, new batteries, had them detailed.
You want to give a plug to the wheelchairs program?
That's basically the Nevadans for Vets. That they call us. We don't have a per se program, but they just call us because they know that's just what we do. And so we go down, pick it up, hand it to them, and all we ask of the recipient is if we can take a picture of you receiving this, and then we send it back to the donor and tell them John Smith or Mary Smith. It has to be a veteran, a widow or widower, or a veteran. And so we send it picture of them and have the scooter appraised, and then we send it back to the donator and say, here's a picture of John Smith, Mary Smith, and the scooter's worth $5,000 for a tax deduction because we're a 501c program.
Right.
Our ID number is 85-127-6240, so we are covered. We know we're doing the right thing for the right reason. We do not charge them for anything.
Right.
We just this is something they need, and deep down in our hearts, we know it's the right thing to do, because if you find somebody that's isolated, if you will, and not able to get around, it seems that they deteriorate. Maybe a bad word to use, but they don't stay as sharp as they should. But if they get to get a scooter, go around the neighborhood, talk to neighbors, it opens up their whole life.
Mobility.
Opens up their whole life, and it's amazing, and they're happy, and they're just great.
Well, we have a Marine Corps couple that you're well aware of. That's what he does, is he renovates and fixes not just scooters, but chairs, wheelchairs, electronic wheelchairs and stuff. And he gets a hold of you all the time, too.
Yes, we work together. Daniel Walker from Nevada Wheelchair. Yes, he does a wonderful job. He goes around the community and does the same thing that we do, but on a bigger scale. And we just listen.
But you guys work together, though.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That was what I was getting at, yeah.
Yeah, because we have to, because, it's the same purpose, the same program.
Right, it's collaborative.
Yes. And so we're very fortunate to have him help us out. And I just go bring him some wheelchairs and he does his job.
He does ramps, too.
Yes.
Not that he wants to, but
no. And so that works out quite well. And then for the high school students, we offer them a $1,000 scholarship for the year, and we give them $500 the first semester. And if they maintain a certain 3.0 average, then we give an additional $500. That's for the first year, because we feel that first college year is pretty difficult. Adjustment, because they're away from home or meeting new people or whatever, and they sometimes
it's a big transition, yeah.
That they forget about their studies. And this way, it's kind of a positive carrot, if you will, that we put out there for them, and they seem to be really receptive to that. And we're just happy to be able to do things like this for the community. So, and every penny that we bring in. Once our golf tournament, our fundraiser golf tournament is over, what we do is we say, okay, what is the cost of the golf tournament? We put on 5% for the following year, and then all the rest of the money is spread amongst the different organizations that we want to help out. And we seem to find some people that maybe fall in the cracks. And for example, there's one widow that her husband passed away, and he didn't have time to get his documents in order. So we got a hold of her and said, we can't subsidize you, but here's some money to help you through your time, because she was living on Social Security. And we were very fortunate that we were able to contact the VA here, to contact the VA where she was at, and now she's got her full benefits. So,
right, because the VA used to be, and the benefit was only for the veteran, and when they passed away, then their benefits and their pay that they would receive went away but now there's a certain percentage of that goes to the widow. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
That's just new. That's only been in the last 10 years or so?
Yes, sir, about that.
Yeah. And which is a nice thing for the widows, because it's a nice chunk of money, especially for those veterans who are like 100% disabled, we're talking $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and it's not taxable. So that's
Right.
a big chunk of money for the widows that they would lose if it wasn't available for their spouses. So
Right.
and it's a lot of times the spouses, they don't even know that they're entitled to that. They don't even know how the process is by which to go through the paperwork that you have to do with the VA. All they know is that they have to do a death certificate, and then all of a sudden the benefits go away.
Yes, that's correct. And it's hard to live on Social Security nowadays, and some might have a small retirement, but inflation,
Oh my God, it's terrible. Yeah.
and so that gets you quick. And so we try to find things like that are falling in the cracks and try to help people out. And it's it's not a gigantic program where we have thousands and thousands of dollars. We have a small budget,
Right.
that we spread it out. So we feel good about how we do it, and the community has responded well to help us out, and we help the veterans out.
Well, very fortunate in Northern Nevada because it's very pro-veteran and pro-military, and so there's 30 some odd organizations here in Northern Nevada that, like yourself, what they do is they have these programs that they help the veterans and their families, and they go out of their way to do good things. You want to talk about? You just had in June. You just had your golf tournament, and you raised a ton of money. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Certainly. This year, it seems like every year we'd add something new to it, and this year we had a Freedom Air. He has a helicopter here in town, Joe Coughlin, and he volunteered to bring his helicopter up to the golf tournament. And so obviously we comped him to play golf. So he comes in with his helicopter, lands it, comes out the golf course right beside the cart path, gets in it, goes plays golf, comes back. We give him lunch, dinner, and then we sell golf balls. And we sell golf balls 25 for one, or $100 for $100 you get 5. And then we mix them into a big barrel. And then he picks up, leaves the ground about 40, 50 feet in the air, and dumps all the golf balls out onto the fairway. And it's like a first, second, third.
Right.
And the first place gets a percentage of was sold, and second
Right.
place, second, third place. And it works, and it's just things like that. And then we have Beat the Pro.
Well, Assembly 912 of the Knights of Columbus gave you $500 for that program. How did we do, by the way?
You were close.
Close, but no cigar.
Well, no, so it was a really wonderful fundraiser, part of our program, and it worked out well. And things like this, every little bit helps.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's
Well, if we'd won, we were still going to give you the money, so it didn't really matter.
oh well, I guess I don't have to tell you that you didn't win then.
That's right, because we did win because whatever we gave was for you guys anyway. So.
No, that was a great thing you did for us, and we're getting the word out more and more. And this last year, we were very fortunate that previous years I tried to keep it down to 116, 120 players, and because the demand got to the point they wanted more players, so we went to 144. 100 full field. It's 144 is a full field on the golf course, and it worked out quite well. And that was at Arrow Creek. And Arrow Creek, it's a championship private course. And what we do is we take the members that play on the tournament, we send them up to holes like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because they know the shortcuts to how to get there and how to get back quickly. And then the people that are new to it, we put them on holes 1, 2, 3, or 17, 18, something like that, just to move it along quite nicely.
Right. I've actually golfed on Arrow Creek, and I'm just a duffer, but I can tell you one thing. It's one of those golf courses that's not forgiving. If you don't keep it down the middle of the fairway, or if you have a ball that goes off into the no play area, it's gone. So it's like bing, 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 and it's gone. It hits the rocks, and so if you're not in play, then just drop a ball. That's right. It's a sad day on the course. But like the president says, even the worst day on a golf course still beats the best day at work. So,
absolutely,
you can't really make a complaint when you're out on the golf course and you're having a good day. So we really appreciate the fundraiser that you do for our veterans out there, especially our Purple Heart veterans. And you coming up, an event's coming up here this Sunday, right?
Yes, sir. This Sunday, August the 3rd at 5 o'clock at the Atlantis, we're having a Purple Heart dinner for all the Purple Heart veterans in our community. And if they happen to come outside our community, we put them up for the night as well. Because after a few glasses of wine, a full stomach, we don't feel we want to send them up to Virginia City, Portola, Lake Tahoe. Those are treacherous roads at night. Anyway,
Carson City, doesn't matter, yeah.
And so we say, okay, we'll put you up for the night, and that's part of our program. It doesn't, like I say, it doesn't cost them anything. We just sell tables to pay for the cost of the event.
Correct.
So it's not a fundraiser per se, but it's just a way for us to break even and take care of our vets. And we have some, this year, for example, our format's going to be, we'll have the honor guard from the Northern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery, the Coalition, and Virginia, and Fernley. They will come and do the posting the colors, and then we'll have the chaplain do a prayer for us, and then we'll have a singer come in, they sing the national anthem, and then we'll have somebody come in and say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Do you have a guest speaker this year?
Yes, sir, we do. We have a guest speaker. He's coming in from Florida. He's a retired Navy man. He was with the warfare community, and in 2011, they did one of the biggest busts for cocaine of 14 tons for the maritime. That's the record they've had for a lot of years.
Confiscation.
Yes.
It was a ship that they encountered, and the whole hull was full of coke, right?
Yes, it was coming out of Colombia. So it was a great thing for us, for the American people, that they did intercept that, and he's a great speaker. We had him before, and he does a great recital on the American flag, and he just does an amazing job. And so we're excited about having him back.
Interdiction, yeah.
And we're looking forward to working with the Washoe County School District, because we want him to come back and go to the high schools and talk to the high school students, because he's talked to over 35,000 high school students back east, and so he's very astute to how to talk to these young men and women. So we want to bring him back, and we're working right now with the Washoe County School District to make this a possibility, and we'll see how it goes, and fingers crossed that we can make something like this happen for our community, for our youth.
You want to tell our listeners what the time on Sunday, what time and what location?
Okay, we're going to hold it at the doors open at 5 o'clock, and then our ceremony starts at 6, and then we'll have like an hour and a half, and then we'll have a 15-minute break, and then we'll have our guest speaker come in and talk. And everything should be possibly over by 8:30, quarter to 9. And we're going to also have, knocking on doors this last year, we came across some Korean vets. We had 12 Korean vets come and join us last year. And we had 2 Korean vets take another assignment up in the sky, and so we have 10 this year. And right now their average age is in the 90s.
Wow.
And so we also have the oldest Purple Heart veteran and the youngest. The youngest cuts a piece of cake and hands it to the oldest. The oldest hands it to the youngest. It's quite a tearjerker in a sense, because I wish you could come to this, and you're invited. The whole board is invited to come to this, because the gentleman that had the elder gentleman that handed the piece of cake to the younger veteran wrote a letter to us, and we're going to read it at the event.
Excellent.
And it's just something that's special. Special.
Yeah. What's the anticipated amount of people that are going to participate?
The minimum, we're going to have about 250. we're looking at 275 possibly. Every year we seem to be getting a little stronger,
A little more participation.
Yeah, and we have more people. Some of the bigger companies in the community donate monies to help veterans come in, and they come at no charge, even if they're not Purple Heart veterans. So
And what's the dress code?
casual.
Okay.
We prefer to have casual dress because the last couple of years we've had people show up that are Purple Heart veterans in wheelchairs and shorts.
Gotcha.
And so that's the only thing they have, and we felt that the best thing to do is not for intimidation purposes, but not to have somebody show up in a suit and tie and all that, and there they're sitting this way. So it will be absolutely casual. That's the way we feel it should be, and they feel comfortable that way, and it works out best for us. Last year we had one vet that said, I do not want anybody walking behind me. So we told everybody, and they abided by it. After the dinner was over, he came over and talked to us, said, thank you for taking care of me. I appreciate it. And there was not a bad remark in the whole house. Everybody was enjoyable and having fun. It was just a nice thing to have.
Well, I understand your history in the military and the Army, but for some of our listeners that haven't known your story, could you kind of give us a brief history of your military career?
Oh, certainly. I was going to the University of Nevada, and I was drafted out of there. I went to Fort Lewis, Washington.
What year was that?
In 1967.
Okay.
I'm an old guy.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of young ones around here. That's okay.
So from there, I went to Fort Polk, Louisiana, which they call Jungle Land or Tiger Land, to learn jungle warfare. And then from there, I went to Vietnam. And the first 2 months, I was a company point man. And then the next 6 weeks, I was a tunnel rat, which made me see in some of the most beautiful country above ground, triple canopies, waterfalls. The beaches were white as salt. I mean, it was beautiful, beautiful. And I saw some of the nicest construction you would think underground.
Did you get to Cameron Bay?
No, sir. I was up I-Corps. Up
north. You were north.
Yeah, up in the north, Duck Pho, Chu Lai, Da Nang, and we were up in that area. So and we worked a couple of things with the Marines. It was just, I was very fortunate. But I got to tell you, this is one thing that I felt that really helped me out. When I was growing up, our family I was born in a railroad car. My siblings were born in a railroad car. And we had some peach trees, and we had some apricot trees, and we had some cherry trees. And of course, in order to keep the birds away, we had to eliminate them. So I had a BB gun. And I found that with my BB gun that I had to sight and shoot. It was too late. So I took my sights off my BB gun and point and shoot. And that made me more accurate and made me more efficient. And then after a few years, then I ended up getting a 22. My father, he would buy me a 22 shorts that I could go down to the riverbed and hunt. And at that time, certain times of the year, you could shoot squirrels and you could eat them. And rabbits, okay, so that was good. But then I came across this one roadrunner one time, and it was up on a cliff.
Wasn't Wile E. Coyote, was it?
I think it was, to be honest with you. You know what? I shot at him. He looked back at me, the dust. I'd shoot at him again, dust, and he just...
Beep, beep.
Pretty much. And he took off, and so I learned to walk in the riverbed as quietly as possible. And those two things helped me, I think, survive Vietnam, because I had to walk quietly. And when I shot, I had to shoot quick. I mean, you don't have time to aim like you see on TV. Okay, the guy's way over there. Okay, at least you're going to scare him or hit him, one of the two. So it helped.
It's called firing for effect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so even though the Army taught me as much as they possibly could, 45 pistol, M16.
I had a thump gun. I just had to aim and fire.
And, you know, the M7 lag grenade launcher and M60 machine gun, and I was a demolition expert, and I was actually able to fire the M14, the glass packed with balanced bullets that the snipers use. Mm-hmm. So I had some experience with that, and I was very, like I say, very, very fortunate to go there. I've had just two of my men were wounded, one in the shoulder, one in the leg, and they all came home. I know there's so many different campaigns there that you hear a lot of bad things, and I believe every single one of them. But again, because I was fortunate, and I was in the jungle, and I learned some of the trades that I learned as a child. Mm-hmm. I think it saved us a lot. And then you get the sixth sense that somebody's watching you.
Sure.
And then you go, okay.
Kind of feel it in the back of your neck. You kind of get that.
Yeah.
You get that feeling.
And so then you just, okay, we're going to go cut another trail. And that worked out well for us. So it was quite an experience. I will give the Army one great kudos. They taught me how to forget. And so a lot of the things that I did see, I learned to put in the back of my mind and put away and not let it come boil me and come up and get me.
You know, one of the things I learned was how to really read a map and UTMs, and how to make sure that friendly fire was friendly and not lethal. So, I mean, it makes a big difference when you can make sure your artillery walks where you want it to go.
Oh, yeah.
It makes a big, big difference.
Yes, sir, it does. You know, it's just the experience that they teach every veteran. You pay attention, you're going to do well. You get sloppy, it's not going to work so well. But
yeah, you know, it's not just you that could be taken out. It's your buddies to your right and your left too.
And then this happened also when I was in Vietnam. I was in country about 4 months, and this chopper came in and said, "Hey, we're looking for Sergeant Martinez." I go, "Yeah, what do you need?" "You're going home." I said, "Going home?" "Oh, I've like been in country 4 months." "Yeah, but your brother's in country." I said, "Okay." And he was up in Da Nang. He's a Marine. He's a gunny sergeant. Mm-hmm. And so I said, okay. So I jumped the chopper, and I flew up to Da Nang and went to the guard gate and talked to the guard and told him what it was there for. He called the captain. The captain came down. I repeated the story to him. And I'd been in the jungle for about 3 weeks. So
pretty ripe,
to say the least. So it was, the captain comes in, "Hey, Gunny, come here." Yeah. He stares at me and goes, "Boy, he stinks." You know, he's a Marine, right? So he was kind of nice, but he had his way. Uh-huh. So I said, okay. And my brother says, "Captain, I got to go. I got to get my tanks over to this point B because it's going to get dark and I got to get them out of the way." And he started walking away, and the captain goes, "Gunny, get your butt back here." "Yes, sir. What's going on?" I said, "Do you know who this is?" He goes, "No, sir, but I can sure smell him." And so I said, "Joe?" He goes, "Tony?" "Yeah." So he recognized me finally.
He didn't realize it was his own brother.
No.
Wow.
So he took me up to his barracks and got me cleaned up and put me some fatigues on and got me showered and cleaned up, and then we went. He said, "Come on, Tony, let's go." I said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Let's go up to this Monkey Mountain," they called it. And says, "See that little trail across the valley there?" I go, "Yeah." He says, "Well, that's a Ho Chi Minh Trail, and we're allowed to fire on that anytime, as much as we want, anytime we want." I said, "Cool, wow." He said, "Sit down." So I sat down.
It's a free fire zone.
Yeah. So he sat me down, put me behind a quad 50.
Oh my gosh.
4 caliber 50s, right?
Oh yeah, I know what
and
a quad
I'm sitting
50
there and I
is.
go, do, 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 do. I went through about 5 or 6 cans of ammo, and you could see the tracers going across the valley.
Right.
And I just, it was a sight to see. You know,
Every third round's a tracer round.
Oh my gosh, it was great. So that was one of the nice experiences I had there. And then obviously,
Did you fire any phosphate rounds?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they shoot at will, shoot anything you want, anywhere you want. So we did.
You can start a lot of fires.
Well, Ho Chi Minh Trail is not.
No, it's wet. Yeah, I understand.
So that worked out quite well. And then on my departure, it was about 9-10 months in, and the chopper came back in, and they were looking for Sergeant Martin. I said, "Yeah, what are you're going home?" Like, "Oh, really?" "Yeah." He says, "Get on." And I shook hands with all my men, and chopper lifts up. I'm looking down, and tears are coming down my face. I became closer to them than my brothers and sisters.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way it happens. And you just go, "God, please, somebody take care of them." I did my best. Let somebody else do their best.
So how many months in country were you there?
I was there for like 10.5 months.
So almost a full tour.
Yeah. And see, we went over as a battalion, and so they had to, what they call infusion. At 6 months, they started bringing other guys that came into country, taking our guys, put them over in another battalion, so we wouldn't all leave at the same time. So then that's how we...
So they integrated them.
Yes, yes, sir. So that worked out quite well, and I was, like I say, I came back home and went back to civilian life, not knowing what else to do, because that's what we were supposed to do, right? We went to fight for our country,
Right.
and we did our job, and came home, and that was it. And 43...
Well, you must have done something well. You got a Bronze Star.
Well, see, that's another part of this puzzle, if you will. Not till 43 years later did I realize what I'd received, because in 1968, 67, in Missouri, part of that building had burned down. And
You're talking about St. Louis when they had the fire.
Yes.
Right.
And so my records are burned down and were lost. And because when I was wounded over there, I came in and at night and put me on one of those cots, and I slept on my right side, and I roll over in the morning, and I look over. Here's my college mate that I played football, ran track, and he played baseball. And we started talking. He was a captain. I was an E5. We started talking, high five, and this home week, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a beautiful thing. And so, meanwhile, we both came back to Reno, and we kept passing in the airport. I'd go down to Arizona. He'd be coming back from Arizona, and he says, "Hey, Tony, did you ever get your medals?" I said,
What medals?
Yeah, what medals? You mean you never? No, I thought I did my job, and that was all. I was happy. I was back to civilian life, doing my job, right?
Sure.
Raising my family. And he said, "Let me look into it." So he looked into it, and like you say, I got my Bronze Star, I got my Purple Heart, Air Medal. I ended up about 11 medals that I didn't know I had. And it was I go, whoa. And so I put them on my uniform. If you were to ask me what that means, I go, I don't know. I have no idea. But it's on my DD-214.
Sure.
And it had to be right before I received my medals, they had to redo my DD-214 because they only had what they thought I had. They didn't know I existed or where I was at and what I did. But then because...
They had to reconstruct your records.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Steve Kosach is the gentleman that helped me out. He was a circuit judge in northern Nevada, so he carried some clout. So that helped me to get my medals that I didn't know I deserved, and obviously quite happy to receive them and quite honored. I am proud, but
Oh, absolutely. You earned those.
It's just, it's one of those things that, like you go to the VA hospital and I walk in there and I see my brothers and amputees and I go, I don't belong here, because I'm healthy. I got my limbs. I have no lasting deep scars that I worry about.
Right.
And so I thought, but I go. And my wife, we had a situation for a while there that I didn't know I had it, but I had PTSD. And I said, Diane, I got to go. Would you go with me? She says, yes. So we went together. And she learned why I was doing certain things. Because when you come back from combat, there's no gray. It's yes or no. It's nothing. Hey, let's go do this. Well, let's talk about it.
There's nothing like that.
You don't do that.
Not how it works.
No, you don't do that. Okay, we're going to go. That's it. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. I'll do this, and you do that.
It's a mission, and you prefer you follow the orders you're given, and you perform, and you return, and hopefully you have the same stick you started with.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And so it was hard for me to communicate that back because I didn't know. And then she learned from me talking to the counselor that, Tony, you got a problem here. And I didn't know I had it. And my wife was there, and she says, I understand more of why you do what you do. Because if I didn't like something, I'd just go into a shell. I'd go into, not a corner per se, but just go into my own man cave. I would talk for a week, and what's wrong? Nothing. Tony, no. That's
Well, I always say I don't have anything to say.
well,
My wife always asks me, why aren't you talking? I got nothing to say.
well, my wife being Italian, yes, you do. You're just hiding it, Tony. And so I said, okay. And so her helping me go through my process helped me tremendously. And I'm
Wonderful.
I'm a happy individual today, and I don't know. I just can't explain it. I'm a happy.
Well, I think you are explaining it, actually.
It's just, I'm a lucky man. I'm a lucky man. I look back at all the things I've done and where I was at and what happened, and I go, wow. And,
Well, it's really, I think, amazing, especially for our veterans out there, is that we were children. We were just children. We were between the ages of 17 and 25 years old. On average, I don't care if you were a private first class or if you were a captain, you're just young children. And that's why it's called the infantry. It's from the French word infantant, which means children. And that's the people who goes into combat. Old, crusty people like us have been around for a long time. We're not in combat. We're the armchair combat guys. It's the guys and gals that are out there that are, in good shape, and they're young, and they, they are young, dumb, and they follow the orders, and they do what they're told to do, and that either wins or loses wars, and that's just reality.
Absolutely. I've always noticed that you could take the American GI, put him anywhere in the world, he'll moan, groan, and, if I may, bitch, but he's the best fighting soldier in the world.
Oh yeah, and they'll do the job.
They know what they got to do, and it's a brother with brother.
Yeah,
and it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing to see the brotherhood you create between unknown person from New York, from Louisiana.
Doesn't matter where they're from.
No. You grow into eat. Hey, hi, okay. It's a brotherhood.
Right, absolutely true.
It's a deep, deep brotherhood.
As we always said, there's no atheists in a fighting position.
No.
None at all. You're all there together, to the right and left, and you guys make sure that both of you, or all of you, try to get out of that trench alive, and that's what all that matters. So.
Yes, sir. And, as we sit here and talk, I think some of the things that happened to me over there is I think, I was, like I said, I was a demolition expert. And if you can picture...
You just like to hear things bang, right?
Well, not the way I thought.
I know.
But I would like...
I'm making a joke. But
pick like a pack of cigarettes. I had my dynamite caps in a pack of cigarettes made of wood. And I had it right over my heart. And so we're walking along through the jungle, and all of a sudden we get opened up on. And I hit the ground. I go, oh, crap. That's not the way to do this. So then I took them out and put them in my backpack. So a little while later, a couple of days later, they opened up on it again. I go, oh, crap.
I can't get at it.
My backpack's on my back. I got to blow my buttocks out. so it's stuff like that, you got to take it in stride and understand it's, and then, obviously I knew how to blow things up, but they forgot to tell me how far stay away from it. So I had my cord, and I go, that's about far enough. And I'd blow it up, and I go, shh, that wasn't far enough.
my hair is a little bit of hair I have singed. Yeah, I get that. I get that part really well. Yeah.
So it was, you had to have an open mind and some sense of humor, because otherwise it would get to you and it would destroy you right in place. And I would prefer not to do that. And I always kind of looked at the lighter side, and I always took my combat serious, but I looked at it as being positive, and I wanted to come home positive. And so I did. And yet I still had some scars that I didn't know I had.
Oh, yeah. I always remember telling my NCOs, I said, first thing you do with your young recruits, you take that M16 and you get that magazine and you tell them you put that thing in there and you hit that thing two or three times to make sure it clicks in there. Otherwise, the first bullet goes down and you lose your mag. You don't think about that after you've been through a few ambushes and stuff. But I'll tell you, if you don't teach these guys in training that, they're going to be fighting with no bullets.
That's very true.
Because you only have so many mags. So,
right. Well, because you're there, and each mag has 20 rounds, and when you slap it at the chamber, you got 40 rounds, and because you fire enough times, when the 20th round is hitting there, and you take your magazine and put them upside down, so then you could flip it up and continue firing, so you don't have to cock and waste that extra time.
Right.
So it's just stuff like that you.
It's second nature. At some point, you stop thinking about it. You just do it.
Yeah, because that's 19. Okay, now I could slip. Okay, now I got another 21 rounds. It's just amazing what the mind can do for you if you let it. And it's just survival.
It's muscle memory is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works.
Absolutely, I'm here.
Me too.
So I'm very fortunate, and of course, having my wife here with me all the time and listening to me and being with me and backing me up, and it's just a great thing to have. You can't, behind every good man, there's a beautiful, strong woman, that's for sure. And that's my wife, and she's helped me tremendously, and I thank her every day for what she does for me.
Speaking of Diane, we haven't heard a word out of you because we've been yakking here for almost an hour. And we kind of want to hear a little about because you're part of the organization. So give us a little bit of your insight.
Well, when we decided to do this, it started out on our dining room table with sticky notes. And that's how it started. And everything was done by hand. We didn't use the computer or anything. And now it's big. And
not a lot of Post-it notes anymore.
Very few, because somebody loses them a lot. So we have quite the help. We have a board, and they're all great workers. I have 40 volunteers that I've had, almost all of them through the whole 9 years.
Well, that's awesome.
Come every year. And I run the volunteer part for the golf and do all the goodie baggies and all that kind of stuff.
It's a big job.
Yeah, it is. That tournament's getting bigger and bigger, but every year when it starts to come around, we're all excited again. So pretty much takes up our whole summer, but we don't mind. We enjoy the rest of the year together. And the Purple Heart is just amazing. Anybody, I wish, could come to that, because it's really something. And you guys are invited. And
well, thank you very much.
And we have room.
Oh,
so
we'll have to see if we can make it this year. We'd love
that.
I'm just like him. I've got the same medals, so. Yeah,
that would be wonderful. You would enjoy it tremendously. It's a very emotional, upbeat thing to see.
Very positive.
Very positive.
We don't go in.
Well, you already sold her on the fact that it's casual attire, so she's all good.
Absolutely. We did it semi-dressy the first year, and we realized, no, it has to be casual for the Purple Heart man.
Yeah, right, for the recipients. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my story.
And you also help with the wreaths, right, as well?
Oh yeah, I go every year for the wreaths, and now I'm kind of I'm replacing a few people out there that have done it for so many years. So I'm doing the refreshments out there now this year, and I did it last year.
You know, it's kind of strange because it's always the third week in December. Mm-hmm. You know what that falls on? My birthday.
Oh, really? Well,
The last couple of years has been on my birthday.
you come out and I'll give you a donut for your birthday.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll put a little candle on it, card
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Well, we really appreciate you guys coming in. I've had Tony here on my regular show on FM 93.7, and he's awesome guest, and we just appreciate, and we value everything that you do for our community. But with this podcast program that we're now operating on, because we've decided to come into the 21st century instead of staying in the 20th century, and appreciate you coming on to my show and giving us your insight and telling us what you guys are doing, because it does make a difference and our veterans really care. So I say thank you from a heartfelt thank you.
You're welcome, sir. And the reason we have some room left over is that the Atlantis, the Atlantis says, okay, here, this one room will hold 200. This next room will hold another 200, so we can go at 800, so we can always grow.
Excellent.
And so we have to only cut it off towards the end because of food preparation. But we made a commitment to ourselves and the veterans. If a veteran comes in that night, he'll have a seat.
That is so great.
He'll have a seat and then have a nice meal. So, again, thank you so very, very much. It's been a pleasure to be here and talk with you. And top of the day to you, my friend.
Same here, man. I
And
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, one more time. Let everybody know the details. When is the Purple Heart dinner? What time? How can they get their tickets and any more information if they need it?
Okay, I'd be happy to, sir. The dinner is going to be Sunday, August the 3rd, 5 p.m. at the Atlantis Hotel. And we're going to have the fire truck, the hook and ladder fire truck there with a flag out front. The entryway is to the sportsbook entry area, but that'll give them an idea of where it's at. We're going to have cadets there escorting them up the stairs, up to the room, and then once they get in there to check in, we'll have cadets taking them to their seats. So this is going to be a kind of a community type organization operation, and the cadets are really outstanding cadets. They're all dressed in uniform and they're sharp. They make us old guys look pretty silly.
Well, yeah. Back in the day, we looked like that too.
Yeah, but see, back in the day, I never marched because all I knew is I had to go out and, train to be a combat in infantry, and so I never marched per se, unless we ran from this field to that field, and that's about that.
I had a lot of marching because I was a cadet, so that's all. We got good at it. Actually.
All right, sir. Again, thank you very much. I
You
appreciate
got
it.
it. Thank you.